Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyF1, and we're here for another episode of SFeatleyF1's Paddock Gossip, talking about the latest and biggest news going around in Formula One. And my God, what's happened in Formula One? What has happened in Formula One the last week or so? Or what's just happened in sport, in the world, politics, and everything that's around it is just impacting everyone so in such a way. I'm sorry if the quality is if the quality is bad. Let me just check the quality is okay. No, the quality video is okay. So we're cool. Make sure you hit the like button, people. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Hit the share button as well. It really does mean a lot to us if you can do that. I'm now just gonna let people in the chat know now. Bum, bum, bum. Now, SFeatleyF1. See, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna go. How are we gonna do this? Let's put it this way. So first topic, Haas. Haas. My God, the situation never ends with these people, does it? Like, it never ever ends. I'm just gonna let somebody. Let some of these guys know. Ba-dum. 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 So, yeah, now. Also, gonna let you guys come on and have your say as well. If you haven't already, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, peoples. Anyone that wants to come on and have their say, they can do. Right. Yes. We're gonna drop that in the chat once I get through my particular bit I want to talk about. So please do share that. Do hit the like and share button. It really does mean a lot to us. So yeah, I'm actually just gonna tweet that out. Actually, I'm just gonna go quickly just tweet it out there that we're sharing the StreamYard link. So I'm just gonna uh uh oh, for fuck's sake. Right. And have your say. Bum, 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 bum. Right, just gonna add some tags to that. To tag my bros that are Brent. No, Brethren John, Brit. Where's my boy Brit? Brit. Uh, uh, so you just gotta tag these people and be with you guys in just a second. Just a second. Done. Right, just tweeted that out. So are Eurocline no longer the sponsor of Haas? I'm gonna bring that up actually. I'm gonna see if they've actually cancelled the deal. Uh, you see, this is the problem. This is exactly what I thought. It's what F1 fans aren't getting, right? This is what F1 fans aren't getting, right? And I can't stand it now with these people, right? Now, before I get into it, I hope the fighting stops, right? We don't condone what is going on out there right now. It's wrong. Invading and killing innocent people for the sake of some fucking territory is sick. I can't stand it, right? For what? What's it for? Just for your own political power and gain and greed. Why does Russia need to do it? It doesn't need to. I'm not getting into the major politics of why. Why do you need to do it? That's all I'm saying. We don't need it. You don't need it. No one needs it, right? Your country doesn't need it. Most of your people probably don't give two fucks about Ukraine. So why? Why? Because they know you can, right? That's why. But look, I don't like the situation. I feel very strongly about it. But I'm gonna call it out every time when it's every day it's carrying on, and to call it to an end because it's wrong on any level. But anyway, we move on to Haas now. Haas internet fans call on Haas to cancel its contract with the Russian sponsor Caue, that has been a sponsor for the team since Nikita Mazepin's addition to the team back in at the start of last season. Right, as also you may not have known if you are an F1 fan, but you do not know, Nikita Mazepin's father, Dmitry Mazepin, is the one who runs Caue. Hence why the car is in a Russian livery and has a Russian driver, and it happens to be his son. Especially how the fact he's also one of these paid drivers, which means he's paid because of the money he gets and brings into the team rather than the talent, which is what a lot of fans don't like. I've always said you can't blame Haas. Haas need the money. They can't survive without the money. They made it very clear on Drive to Survive, right? You saw it for your own eyes. They could not afford it without having a major sponsor like Caue title sponsor. Title sponsors, you're talking about nearly £500,000. Let's put it this way: like £500 million was Oracle's deal with Red Bull when they became world champions. So we're talking about 200 mil for Haas, something like that. We're talking about 200 mil to title sponsor a team, right? A lot of money is involved. So when you're seeing fans now, obviously, we all want Caue to be cancelled out of Formula One as a Russian business as a response to what's going on in with Russia and Ukraine. Right, Russia's economy should suffer because if it suffers, it can't function as a country. If it can't function as a country, how can it possibly carry on fighting? Right, that's the main idea about these sanctions on Russian businesses and billionaires. So F1 need to take this stance with any company that's being sponsored, that any team, Grand Prix even, like, because Grand Prix are having title sponsor as well. You've got the Heineken Italian Grand Prix. You've got the BWT Austrian Grand Prix, for example, the Rolex British Grand Prix. Like, title sponsors come onto the circuits as well, which give them a huge amount of revenue to host the event, as well as profit. So there's a lot of money involved, and if you get Russian companies for a circuit, it's easy to get probably another major sponsor to sponsor them. Not a problem. For a team like Haas, who are at the back of the grid for most of last season, so they don't get the amount of airtime that everyone else gets, because you've got to remember, these are rolling advertising boards. So the more time they get in front of the cameras, pulling off amazing overtakes or anything like that, the more they will get exposure as a brand. So if you buy one that's higher up the grid, you're more likely going to have to pay more because you're paying more time to what you're paying more to have more viewing of your company on that car, because that car's going to be running at the front, meaning most of the cameras are going to be on that car, not the car behind. If you see my gist behind it. So for Haas, though, this season, there's been a lot of talk about this season of being then more competitive this season. They've focused all their resources into this year's car, sacrificing last year. So they've taken big gambles and big risks, and they know if it doesn't work for them, their season their season will continue into next season. I don't think they'll make the next season after that. I think they'll fold by in the next season if it doesn't work out with these new regulations, which they've all been banking on. If you look at Eurocollize a bit with they're supplying half the money for them for this car, and so they'll want it to be competitive as well. And by the look of testing, they do look competitive. They look far more competitive than they did last year. I know it's testing, but they were far, far better last year than they were last year. They're far better this year, sorry, than they were last year. So they're much more competitive. So they're going to be up there fighting, like they're going to be closer towards the midfield pack this season. They're not going to be towards the back of the grid. Well, they may be, but not as bad as we had last season. So they've brought the team. They've brought basically the walls of work. They've brought the teams closer together. But because of this ongoing situation, they can't have the title sponsor on the car. No way. There's no way it's going to happen. And I don't think Steiner would not listen to the fans or anything like that. And he would want, as for his own team's reputation and his own reputation, would not want to have Caue carrying on as a title sponsor for Haas. So he's probably at the moment ringing around the clock, looking for a business to pay the amount of money Caue is willing to pay, and probably has also already paid them as well. Don't forget, Caue has also probably spent a lot of their financial resources for this season on the car this year, right? So you've got to take that into account as well. Kind of like you have the FFP system in a sense, isn't it? So you've got that to consider as well. So any fans that are calling on the Haas to drop Caue straight away without buying a new owner within the space of 6 months, you are asking that team to commit suicide. The team cannot afford to do it. They cannot afford to do it. They cannot do it. If they did it as a team, they would be fucked. They would be fucked. I will get to your comments in a minute. Don't you worry. As a team, they would be fucked if they decide to cancel the contract now and not have an immediate sponsor to replace it. they would be run out of business by the end of the week, by the end of the year, done, finished. Right. The reason I said they'll be in under 2 years is if the plan of this year's car doesn't work. Right. Not the fact they run out of money. Right. But if they run out of money, by the end of this season, they'll be asking to sell the team completely. Like, which will probably open the door to Andretti. The idea with Andretti, and this is the other twist to this, is Andretti's looking to buy a team. He's looking to enter F1 anyway with his team. The FIA and F1, instead of him buying a house, they want him to bring a new team into a sport to make it 22 cars on the grid. Because in the end, the FIA and the F1 governing the F1's management organization has stated already they want to create 23 to 25 races a season, which they're just about doing with 23. Obviously now it's 2020, it's 22 again because of Russia. I think they'll find a replacement by then. But you've got 23 races to 25 races they want, and they want around 26 cars to start the season. So 2 up on what we had in 2010 to 2012. Right? But at least these cars all be competitive and fighting with each other, not a second in front at the front, a second behind them is another group, and a second behind them is another group, and then the second behind them is the back. If you get what I mean. So yeah, so any fan that's asking them to irresponsibly chuck away Caue, right, and sacrifice themselves as a car as an F1 team because of the morals of what's going on, which is perfectly understandable and justified, right? They cannot do it. It's unjustifiable to do it now, right? Then you can't ask them to do it. So let me just quickly. It's 19 days now, isn't it? It's 19 days until race 1. I believe. 19 days? No, 18 days. When's the first bar? Sorry, let me just get that right. The Bahrain Grand Prix. The Bahrain Grand Prix is going to take place. When's it taking? 18th. So 17th days. 17 days until round 1. 17 days on the countdown clock now. We ain't got long to go, guys. We ain't got long to go. Smash that like button. Road to 80 subs. Now, come on, let's get that to 100 now. Let's get that to 100. We've got 20 more to find. If you know anyone that loves F1, please go and give him a sub right now. It really is important. Let's get this to 7. Let's get this to 100 now. Let's get this done. Let's get it shared. Let's get it liked. Let's get it followed everywhere on all socials. Right, we've got a Facebook page. We've got a Twitter page. We've got a I've got to keep updating the Facebook page and making sure I post the links there as well. But you've got the Twitter page, you've got the Twitter account, you've got the Instagram account. We've all got an account for this channel, so make sure you do so. Big up Adam, by the way, sorry, if you're doing reaching 51 subscribers as well. Right, keep up the good work. But yeah, like I said, you've got to take in consideration what the Haas team has to keep going through if they want to prosper and also not fold in the future and be able to also stick to their morals. Because them themselves as a team, they won't want to have them sincerely linked to a Russian company with what's going on right now. They won't want that, especially Mazepin. His family's got close links with Putin. This is the thing. they are very closely linked together. These two, like Mazepin and Putin. So yeah, it's difficult, but there you go. So Stephen, I found someone who likes. Yeah, you mentioned uh you mentioned the other day uh yeah, I saw him and I gave him a like and a follow. Uh I've also DM'd him as well, so he said he'll try and work something out. So we'll definitely sort something out closer to the time. But yeah, that's the situation as it stands, and I this is what I feared, which is internet fans jumping on the bandwagon, not really understanding the economics of Formula One. They really don't. They don't understand. Like the team can't just get rid of it. It's not Ferrari. If this was Ferrari or McLaren, I get your point. But there you go. Uh, first caller we got you in the back. How are you doing, my friend?
Hi, Steven. Sorry I haven't had the time to join you on the F1 shows. I've been working. You've seen me around the
No
restaurant.
worries, man. No worries, man. I appreciate the time
Yeah, yeah,
difference and everything. So
yeah.
I do appreciate the time you do get on. I do appreciate any time that anyone can spare. So I posted also the link in the chat for anyone who does want to comment as well. I mean, internet fans jumping on the bandwagon with Haas clearly explains why the team can't just get rid of the sponsor straight away, because obviously the amount of money that's involved, the contract, and what they need from that contract in order to survive. They need the money there to survive the year and into the next season as well. What's your take on it? Do you feel they need to get that? That it's something that should be just they should just do it anyway and then worry about that later, or do you feel that they need to
Oh, you,
cover
you're
themselves?
you're talking about the Russian thing,
Yeah,
sponsorships and all that.
Eurocolai has F1 team and
Uh,
their sponsor
and
with the company, especially
Meza,
since Mazepin's closely
yeah,
linked
Meza,
to
yeah.
Putin.
Come on. All the rich people are linked in all the rich Russians are linked to Putin somehow or another. To tell the truth, right? It's so sad that the situation that's happened in Ukraine,
Mm.
right? I mean, what else can we say? We don't war has never been a solution to things, right? I mean, what kind of value you put on a human life when you go into that kind of situation, right? But the world is not a nice place anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. Money rules. So I guess they can take away all the what I call the images and the leverage on the cars and all that, but they won't take away the money. Come on, right? If you take away the money, how is Gene Haas going to support the team at the moment? So that means, are you going to punish an F1 team because of that? So it's not to say I'm supporting it, but I mean realistically, are you saying that Haas is not going to run because of that? Right? Are you going to say that Mazepin can't drive because of that? If they say that, right, then the FIA has to make a rule, right?
Mm.
So if the FIA makes a rule, then the rule has to be adhered. Then Mazepin loses his spot. Then another driver will come in, right? So let's see who comes in then, right? So
But
as I see it,
I hear you on that. I do
right?
hear that in a sense, but
Yeah. No, I mean,
it,
I mean,
it comes.
it is what
I
it
know
is,
money
right?
talks. Money
Yeah.
talks is the big word always says, but I do feel that they can't stay with. I don't feel they can't stay with it because the only way you're going to cripple the only way you're going to probably stop a diplomatic way of doing it is by crippling their economy. And crippling their economy is doing this to Russian businesses across the world, right? And like, so I do feel they need to take that stance. If F1 believes in its morals at the minute, which it's what it's trying to do,
But
It
they haven't
needs to. It
haven't
needs
they?
to.
I know, but haven't they removed the Russian Grand Prix? So that's step one, right? That's
That
like
is
punish.
after though. Vettel and
Yeah,
and
of course, it needs people to make some noise to get things to move
yeah, I
nowadays,
think
right?
it was
Yeah,
Vettel and Max Verstappen made it very,
yeah,
very clear
yeah,
they're not going to race in their country.
yeah. Of course, that's true, right? Whoever says whatever, and in that day, if you really want, I said, if the F1 comes into a sense to say that Mazepin, because of what's happening in Russia, he is not allowed to race, then the FIA has to make that decision, correct? It's up to the FIA, right?
Yeah.
And
We
yeah.
got Adam. How you doing, mate?
I'm very
Uh,
good.
hi,
Hi
hi
Stephen.
Adam.
Hi Eugene.
Hi Adam. How you doing? Right.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, mate? Do you feel they should be dropping a sponsor right now, or do you feel Haas should just continue with the sponsor until they can get someone new to replace them?
I believe the second option because even though everyone's just gonna say, "Oh, just drop it now. We don't want to support Russian businesses." A team like Haas, they're not Mercedes, they're not Ferrari, they're not Red Bull. They can't find sponsors easy. They need to find.
Not just that, they also the Ferrari, for instance, they also get a payment from the FIA itself
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be in the
So,
sport. Basically, the FIA, Ferrari got endless pots of money. Let's put it that way.
Maybe the other way is that maybe the rest of the F1 teams could just chip in a couple of £1 million or £5 million
Oh,
each
they
team and
wouldn't do
just
that.
support them, right?
They're
I
local.
mean,
They're
just
local. The people like Alfa Romeo and the teams racing around them, they wouldn't do that. Why would you want to support someone that's what you're racing against?
I don't.
yeah,
I get
You
that.
want to go to the goodwill part of it, right? So,
I get the goodwill
come
part
on,
of it, but part of me is like,
right?
but you've
um,
also got Andretti. What? Yeah,
But
you've
okay,
got
my
Andretti
question now is
replacing.
that has received all the money yet?
No, it's probably seen about half of it, probably.
So if they haven't received all the money yet, then if you freeze whatever assets that's coming out from there, then it's too bad for Haas. That's what I'm gonna say, right? It's too bad for Haas, right?
What do
Uh,
you think, Adam?
I think that they should try and find a new sponsor first. And with Haas, I mean, we have to talk about Nikita Mazepin's future in the sport because, you know, realistically, that is going to be under pressure. I think he did an interview saying he's happy in Barcelona, like where he is right now, obviously, and saying, oh, he doesn't want to like go back to Russia. And the thing is, if his dad is not the sponsor anymore, if Alkali aren't the sponsor, what's going to happen with Nikita? Is he just going to be there like, just like do you get what I'm trying to say? Like he's just going to be
Yeah, I can hear what you're trying to say.
so.
no,
What's
can
your
he change
take on?
citizenship to become a Spanish then?
Yeah, I do feel Nikita Mazepin. I think a lot of people are thinking of it because some of it might be because they want to get rid of him because of the fact that they didn't like him in the first place. He shouldn't be in F1 in the first place.
Mm,
Which to be fair, he shouldn't like compared to Piastri, he shouldn't be in the and he shouldn't be in the seat.
yeah, definitely.
But obviously, like we all say, money talks. But like I do feel in this situation, it's like I do feel sorry for him in a way because I don't even think unless he's come out and said he agrees with. I think he did
Putin.
give an interview where he said, "Oh yeah, but we shouldn't be getting sport and politics mixed up and this, that, and the other." And it was like, no, what you
It
should be
doesn't.
saying, mate, is coming out and saying, "No, this is wrong. I'm totally against this." Like, but so because
He can't.
like I don't
But the
I
thing
don't agree with
he can't
I
come
don't
out and
agree with this
denounce
from my
Putin,
country.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
but
get what
the
I'm
Yeah,
thing
saying.
is, yeah, if
Yeah,
he did
he
that,
can't.
if he flew back to
he
his home country, he'd never come back out again.
yeah
Yeah.
he can't.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he
Especially if his dad's closely linked to Putin as well, he'd never come back out. You know what
yeah
I'm
he
saying?
uh,
But
he can't really speak out and say, "Oh, I don't agree with
yeah, we got
Putin,"
some
because
he'll have some KGB shit
I mean,
coming home after him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he'll have
Yeah,
he'll
yeah. We've seen all that before, right?
Yeah,
It's not the
but
first
yeah.
like
time.
I'm saying, but what I will say is that, like, I feel with Nikita, I would say the fact that it's not something I would agree with, uh, and I don't feel my F1 future should be tarnished and thrown away because of my country's actions when it's got nothing to do with me. It's got no,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like the government. It's like our government decided to go and invade France, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm not allowed to drive in F1 because the governing body's based in France. Well,
yeah.
yeah, but what's the war got to do with me? I ain't done nothing.
I saw something on Twitter and it's very stupid. And they just said, why doesn't Nikita Mazepin just tell Putin to stop?
That's a good one.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's gonna listen to that. He's probably just gonna get a gun to his head and said arrest him.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I'm pretty sure if uh
No, he get the KGB to get remove him. That's basically what he did.
yeah, he can't
Uh,
just tell Putin to stop.
no, mate. Look, I don't know why people listen to social media. All I hear is someone said that on social media this. Someone said just half of social media are full of dumb fuckers that don't know what they're doing and don't know how way things work in life or in general, let alone in sport. And like, um, yeah, I do feel for Mazepin on this one. I really do.
For the first
Um,
time ever, so do I.
well, I do
Uh,
because like he's not done anything wrong.
Yeah,
Like
he didn't tell
he's
Russia
still
to
in a
go attack
bias
Ukraine.
standing in this. He's
Oh,
well, where's Steven gone? Okay, we've got his channel now. Let's take it over, Adam.
yeah, but yeah, Mazepin, he
Right.
hasn't told his country to go, attack Ukraine.
yeah.
He's got
This is what I'm
nothing to do
saying.
with this. But yeah, there's going to be some people that try to make just because he's Russian, that means he's involved in the war somehow. Like,
But Adam is what you call is called collateral damage, right? So whatever happens I mean, come on, the war is bad enough,
yeah,
right?
Mm,
Lives are being lost left, right, and center at the moment, every minute, every second.
yeah,
But the thing is that uh, what sports is trying to do is I guess what they're all jumping on the bandwagon is trying to send a message out, right? But do you think Putin is going to
but then
listen?
a
Of
lot
course not.
there's one tweet I
Right.
saw the other day, and I totally agree with it. It's like we all jumping on the gun about this war, and he put in the tweet, and which I agree with. We shouldn't be condoning this, right? We should could be like basically we should be condemning what's. And he said, by the way, I don't. And he said, by the way, he said he put in his tweet, and I think it was like
Okay.
right
Steve,
when it comes to the war, I totally condemn
I,
everything that's
I, I,
happened.
I give you a scenario now, right?
Hang on.
Let's let. Oh,
Hang
sorry.
on. I'll just say this: is that he said I can condemn everything that's going on right now, right? But what I will say is everyone is jumping on the bandwagon this, which is quite right in their right to do so. But why isn't everyone jumping on the bandwagon when it came to Qatar last season, when it came to Saudi Arabia last season, even Abu Dhabi last season,
Or
to do with their
okay.
human
No,
rights?
I give you a scenario, right? In 2014, right, a Malaysian airline plane was shot down in mid-air
Yeah,
across the Ukraine airspace, right?
mm-hmm.
The the how you say it, all the fingers were pointed at Putin, allowing the missiles to be sent to the rebels, and the plane was shot down. Everybody was asking for justice and all that, right? And the World Cup was still held in Russia. So
yeah,
yeah, so now they're going to war, right? Are you going to say that every Russian player is not supposed to play in any of the leagues outside of Russia, right?
yeah.
Are you gonna say that?
It's kind of like what you're saying.
If you
Yes,
say
exactly.
if you say
Actually, you know what, you've
Mazepin,
hit it on the
yeah,
head there. In a football terms, this is like saying to what's a famous a Russian national player right now. Let me just
Yashin? Oh, like right now?
yeah, a famous
a big name Russian player in one of the top leagues. Who do we have now?
yeah, Russian national. Yeah, let me just put the Russian national football team. Let me just put that in there. Like its squad. Let me just have a look at his squad and players. So yeah, it's like playing Smolov. Smolov, who play he's playing in Dynamo Moscow, so that don't work.
There's not many Russian players playing outside of
Here you
Russia.
go. Here you go. Here's one. Oh, no, he's not actually. Shit. I thought he was, but there you go. But,
What happened to all the Russian players? They don't play
I
outside
don't
of
know.
Russia nowadays.
Huh. He's
Oh my
prime
God,
time
maybe
that well, didn't he?
What
yeah.
about Cherish? What about Denis Cheryshev?
Okay,
What's that?
let's not say football. What about tennis? Medvedev, he's world number 1 now.
Hang on. What about? Hang on.
There's Denis Cheryshev who plays for Valencia.
Where's
Ah.
that?
Denis Cheryshev, he's a Russian midfielder for Valencia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so say him. He's playing out. He's playing in what in Valencia.
Yeah.
So if he's playing in Valencia, so it's like telling him he's not allowed to play in Valencia anymore.
Yeah,
It's kind of what
right.
we're saying.
If you do that to Mazepin, then you should do that to him, right? Then
Yeah.
you should do it to every sports person, right? Representing Russia.
Yeah.
Right?
That is
They will
playing
say,
outside of Russia.
yeah. And you remember now the Paralympics is going on in Beijing for the Winter Games, right? They're trying to say that now we're going to put not going to recognize the Russian flag. They're going to put him as some other kind of independent kind of thingy so they can compete, right? So how far will this go? You know, badminton players, table tennis players, right? So,
Ice hockey players.
yeah, ice hockey players, right? Football
That's the
players. I
thing.
mean,
Like, are you gonna stay consistent?
mhm. I mean, if
Are
they
you
do
gonna
that to
stay consistent?
Mazepin, yeah. Even if you're saying take away the sponsors, taking away the money, right? Will I mean affecting Has is one thing, right? But like you say, is it fair on Mazepin then? Right.
Yeah, let's say Eugene. Are you from Malaysia?
Oh yes, I'm from Malaysia.
Yeah. Let's just use the example Stephen brought up. Like Mazepin, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't get all the like. Basically, what he said was, did you say like he shouldn't get the blame for what his country's doing, or he shouldn't
Yeah,
have to
he
have access?
shouldn't. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, if Britain went to war with France and you were an F1 driver, now they're saying, oh, you can't be in F1 because the governing bodies in France, you'd be like, but I haven't done it. So you can see it in that sense as well. To be honest, there's
yeah.
people that
That's
won't.
what basically what we just said in football terms is what we're saying here is basically you're not allowed to compete in the sport because your team's gone to war with someone,
Your country is gone to
which
war,
has got
someone,
something
right?
that's completely out of your control,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's
And
it.
something you probably don't even agree with. If my country went to war with someone, unless it was the unless we were attacked, for example, like the Falklands, for example, we were attacked because of for example, the Falklands was attacked, which was British sovereign territory, right?
At that time.
At that time, and they wanted to be British. They didn't want to be. They didn't want to go back to being Argentinian at that time. So, in that sense, yeah, I did agree with us going to war with that because those people had the right to be British. They wanted to be British. They liked being British. They wanted to be British, and we had the right to defend them. So I agree with that. But if we decide, oh, we're going to just invade. We're just going to invade Spain or something because
France.
I don't know.
Of course, you want to
Like,
bingo.
I don't know because like we
Stephen, don't go there, Stephen. Talk about
no,
then
but if you know what I mean, we just
I
invade
know,
some.
I understand.
We
I
just
understand.
invade some country.
No,
Like,
but you see now
Germany beat us in '96 in the semi-final, so we went and invaded them, for example. That I wouldn't
no,
agree with that.
I understand what you're saying, Stephen. But the thing is that you see in Putin's mind now, right? He has this thing that the Russian-speaking Russians in Ukraine, right, want liberation. So that's why he's gone into freedom on that excuse that he's going to war with them. You get what I'm saying? Right? So whatever the excuse is, right, going to war is not correct. You get what I'm saying? Because when you go to war, lives are lost. You get what I'm saying?
Listen,
right?
And innocent lives.
Instead of
Yeah.
war, in my opinion, what they should do is
and not that. And it's not just about lives lost. It's how many lives that are impacted in, like, you lose your home, you take refuge in another country.
There's about 500,000 refugees now running out of Ukraine.
Like after the Second World War, like after the tragedy, like the despicable things of the Holocaust, like all those Jewish people had to be moved, and they were moved to their own country. They moved to what they became known as the State of Israel, right, after the Second World War.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
I'm not want to go there. I'm not going in there. I'm not going into that. But it's just, it's that's as far as I wanted to go into that. And just literally.
Yeah, no, I know. But the thing is that number one, we all agree that war is not right.
It's
correct?
not right.
Yeah. But the thing is that this is what happens when somebody's action has a profound effect on another person's life. That's what's going to happen. Like you said, that let's say if Mazepin loses his drive with Haas, right? But if you think about the Ukraine people, right, they've lost their livelihood, they've lost their house, they've lost so many other things, right? So how can you weigh that in between that balance? You can't weigh that. You get what I'm saying? Mazepin, even he doesn't drive for Haas this year, if things settles out, or everything becomes okay again, which hopefully it does, right? He'll get back his drive. But the problem is that the people who has been affected by this war, right, will never get back their life properly.
But he knows if he loses his drive, he's never getting it back.
No, for sure.
He won't.
That's for sure.
Like, especially if with all the budget caps that are coming in, so it makes it more affordable for teams to get in the sport and also to stay in the sport. Teams will be less reliant on money from drivers to keep them afloat. And if that's the case, I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of Nikita Mazepins coming through the door, because and you'll be seeing more natural talented drivers like Piastri coming through the door instead, because teams can afford it. Right. But look, I want to move on to this other final point, and that's about the Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
For example. And please do hit the like button if you haven't already. Share the channel as well. We are trying to get to 100 subs by the beginning of the season, which is on the 18th of March. So please make sure, if you haven't already, we're doing live watch-alongs to well, at least a few hours of testing at least. But yeah, please do hit the like button and the share button if you can. Please, it really would make a very good difference. But yes,
when is the next testing going on?
It's the 10th to the 12th, I believe.
And I think that one will be broadcasted, although I'm not sure.
It will be broadcasted because it's an official pre-season test.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think I'll be at school when it happens, so I can't watch.
Yeah, well, no. What time?
I'll just watch the replay.
And it's in Bahrain, right?
No, I don't think there'll be a replay of it unless you can catch it later on, catch up. But
Let me. What time will that? What time will it be, Stephen? Let me know. Maybe
It'll be
I can
about
join
8
you.
in the morning to about 8 in the morning UK time, so about
Oh no.
6 p.m. 6 p.m.
UK time. All right.
something like that.
Maybe if you do the second session, maybe I may be able to join you, right? Because
I'll
hopefully
probably only
my
I would only probably be doing. Well, I don't know. The Friday one will be only in the morning, so I've got bigger Friday in the afternoon.
yeah, maybe I'll join you on the Friday afternoon because it's around
But
about
by the
1,
way,
12,
everyone go check
yeah,
that out. It's gonna
12,
be a massive
yeah,
stream.
12,
Uh
12 a.m. my time, 1 p.m. my time. Maybe I'll be free
yeah.
there
Then we got
after work.
Saturday and Friday and Thursday
Mm,
would be a good bet.
mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
let's see. Let
like
me
I
know.
said, we'll keep up to date on that, and we'll be doing
Mm,
watch-alongs to not
mm.
the whole session, but some of the session at least.
Yeah, yeah. The evening sessions, most probably be able to join you.
Well, yeah, and then what we'll do is we'll do a review at the end of it as well. I want to move on finally to the actual Grand Prix itself. We know the Grand Prix itself was taken down after, especially drivers coming out and protesting, saying they will not drive at the Grand Prix itself. I know Max Verstappen was one of them. Right, it's a shame that he got pipes up for once. But uh, yeah, I think all the drivers in the end actually agreed. All of them agreed they didn't want to be racing at the circuit, and that's including. I think that was including Mazepin as well. For their meeting. So yeah, in terms of that, and I give this to you, Eugene. Like, do you see a place once hostilities have ceased or the situation resolved in Ukraine and for over in the future? Do you feel that F1 could ever go back to Russia?
Of course, it will.
Would they ever consider going back straight like the season after the hostilities
Uh,
finished, or would you be seeing about
I,
5 years down the line
I,
afterwards,
Stephen, I won't be
whenever it
surprised, right?
finishes?
If this thing settles itself by April, right, and everything is back to normal again, and everybody's happy again, right? Because the Russian Grand Prix is in September, right?
Well, yeah, it
For
depends where they want to put it on the calendar. Though.
yeah, it's supposed to be September, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's been the
Yeah.
fourth race of the season as well.
If it's a race which is later, don't be surprised, guys. It'll be reinstated. You
Oh
know,
yeah, don't
yeah,
worry
don't be
about that.
Yeah,
surprised with
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. Once Putin has got his enough of his money, right? When the oil prices go high enough, right? Then he'll cash out. He'll have a couple of 100 million to throw at the FIA. So why wouldn't they go there, right? Like I said, money talks, right? But unless they
Money
do have
talk.
some kind of unless they do have some kind of morality around it, then maybe they might choose another country, right? I'm hoping he comes back to Malaysia. Haha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you hope so, but I
yeah,
doubt it.
yeah.
But like, what do you think, Adam?
Uh, for me, yeah, if this thing does, resolve, hopefully it does soon. Uh, if it does, I would not be surprised if they just say, yes, we're going back to Russia because, Putin can just throw his money at the FIA. And that, yeah. But in terms of like, if I could, it would go back to Russia. But for me, I think it. I'm thinking two sides. I'm thinking where it could go back straight away. They could, because money does talking. Uh, then I'm thinking they might not want to do it a season after. They could do it, but I think I'm leaning. I'm a bit of both. I don't know why. I think they could do one side of me thinking they could do it straight away, even though I probably wouldn't want them to. That they might do it straight away, or they could do it like 3 years after or 2 years after.
Mm. But guys, I got
Mm.
a question for you guys, right? let's
Yeah.
say if this resolve itself, right, and let's say Putin is ousted, he's no more there.
He's not
And
the
do you
president
think,
anymore.
yeah, he's no more the president, then do you think straight away reinstating Russia will be okay?
Depends who they get.
Oh dear.
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
Probably,
probably.
mate. Yeah, you need a background check and everything.
oh.
Like because everyone said Putin would be okay, and so far he's supposed to be diplomatic. He's not.
Supposed to be better than Yelton, but
Well, he's supposed to be diplomatic, but I didn't know tearing up frigging other people's
diplomatic.
envelopes.
Okay, please
He was
don't.
supposed. He was supposed to be the manager.
Okay.
Like,
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, everyone
Look.
thought Putin was one of the okay world leaders. Well,
Oh,
clearly not.
sorry. He was supposed to be an elected president. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, what I'm saying is, he's supposed to be the elected president, but in the end, like, how do I put this?
Oh yeah, Putin being elected president for the past 20 years. Yeah, big
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Think
I
about
thought-
it.
No,
Yeah,
but when
and
you see
apparently-
like physical camera evidence of votes being torn up, like that's like corruption staring you in the face, and like
Yeah.
he still gets to stay in power.
I heard a rumor that they
That's when
couldn't.
you know you're in charge, and you know you can do anything you want.
That's how democracy, right, creates a real dictator.
Yeah, I mean, I thought in most countries, I don't know if it's different for Russia, people can only serve 2 times, but clearly Putin's just made a new law where he's like, I'll be president for how long I want to be president.
Mm,
No, some
Yeah,
some
yeah.
do, some don't.
yeah. But there's a lot of opposition. Remember the guy who was what?
Big up, Marley. I only subscribe to the. How dare you? How dare you do that?
Yeah.
And now
My
he's at least he
God.
subscribed. Come on, at least he's
How
subscribed, right?
brave of my
Yeah,
bro
yeah.
knew I had set
Don't-
up
don't
this
worry,
channel
Eugene,
and he
it's
never
sarcasm.
subscribed.
I know Steven. Don't worry. I've been with him for a long time.
You gotta get on you and explain yourself. You need to explain yourself on here right now, right? What are you doing? What are you doing, fam? Seriously, my bro, like I've told you ages I had this channel, like. I had
Nah,
I've
yeah,
had it
but,
just been over a month. I've had this channel, to be honest. But yeah, keep up the great work. Yeah, man. Fire bombing me with that stuff. What you on? Yeah, look, I personally feel that, and by the way, Putin's funded. Like it's all closely like organized and funded by Putin. Like I remember once, like the first Grand Prix they held, like he didn't actually watch the Grand Prix. He turned up for the last 10 laps to give out the prize, go give me trophy, and I'm like there. If I'm like the race winner and I've seen him turn up on the big screen with 10 laps to go, like as I'm going round, I'm literally shaking his hand like I said, well, why say congratulations to me? You didn't watch the fucking race or what I did all day.
I remember
You
that
didn't-
time.
Right.
I don't.
You didn't see me. You didn't. Said, how can you congratulate me? Did you see me actually perform?
Yeah, I don't know if it
He
was.
goes no. He goes no. So how do you know I did well then? Right, I did fuck all race because not Rosberg was stuck behind. Had dead tight. With dead tight, I was back at the back of the grid at lap 1. At the end of lap 1, so I had nothing to do with a race. So but you didn't know that. You weren't there watching, were you? Right? That's what I was like. I said, yeah, thanks for the trophy, mate. You didn't even watch me race. So like, yeah, what the fuck?
Can I say? I
What are you
think
saying well done to me for if you not even watched me perform? So I'm just like, so I'm
I
sitting
remember-
there. But unfortunately, what would happen is if you say that, you probably get a one-way ticket to the fucking AGB Bianca building, like to the fucking Kremlin, like into the
Yeah.
fucking dungeons, and like locked away for a very
I
long
think
time.
I remember a moment where Hamilton won the Russian Grand Prix, and as Putin was giving out the champagne, he sprayed a bit on Putin, and my dad was like, Okay, so that might be the last we ever hear of Lewis.
No, yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, Lewis, you've just put yourself in jail. You've just been jailed. Yeah, man. Like, in the end, they will. If there will be a Russian Grand Prix, first of all, it will be at Igor Drive by the time it actually happens, because the contract's until 2023, I believe, and in 2023 is Igor Drive, I believe. No, when is the Igor Drive Grand Prix supposed to be on? Hang on a minute, let me try this.
I don't even like Sochi, so it's not even that big.
No, that's why they're doing it at this news.
Yeah.
They're moving it to St. Petersburg or something, right?
Yeah, St. Petersburg, the Igor Drive. But they've added this last little bit into the last sector, which kind of spoiled it. It looked good until they decided to add this little extra last bit in it that sort of destroyed it, really. But there you go.
Yeah, but I think Sochi is quite a boring race, right? Once you get in the
Yeah.
hit and nobody can overtake, that's a sad part of it. Yeah, but I know, but what is I'm excited for
they've
this season to tell you the
modified
truth.
it so it goes like
Yeah, I'm excited for
like
this season
sharp
because of the new.
hairpin.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm excited.
So,
Yeah, for the new designs. Hopefully they will encourage overtaking and all the things, right? But
well, I think the cars will usually are going to help with that anyway. But that's with the modified time, with the modified release, back end, right? So if you go down this long straight, which is where the pit lane is,
they
so
added a
you're coming
curve there.
towards. So right, so
Guys,
this is the old layout.
The red one is all layout.
This red one is the old layout, right? This one's the old layout.
They added another corner
This
on the
one
side
is the
here.
new layout. Look at on the far right how it's changed. But at the end of that long straight, it's
There's
now
a corner.
changed to one straight and then a sharp bend and then round in a circle. See?
Okay. Yep, I know.
Which I think spoils it in a way, but there you go. It spoils it in a way, but there you go.
But there's no race there now, so who cares?
But I know it would have been nice. I would like to have seen it, but Igor Drive. So, but yeah, it was supposed to be better than Sochi. It looked very much better than Sochi. Hang on, Igor Drive. In the I might have a look at that right now.
Igora Drive. Igora Drive's the new circuit or what? Or just the new bend?
No, this is the new Russian Grand Prix circuit.
All right.
But
This
you
one's
see that
supposed to be
last part. You see on the right side of that. If you got that long straight towards the top of the picture, that long straight with the pit lane, you can see where the pit lane is and everything. Where is actually the pit lane is entry actually? Yeah, so let me have a look at the pit lane entry. Look at the pit lane entry. It goes all the way far out to the left and then back in through here. Look how far out you have to go instead of just following the closely around the corner.
There's a long pit lane entry.
Look at it. You got to look. It's like look. Let me if I zoom in on that.
How long is that straight going to be?
It's
1.5 kilometers.
Let me have a look.
I have a question for you guys.
About 2 meters, something like that. A 2 meter circuit, 2 meters straight. The straight.
Steve,
is it 2 km straight?
Yeah, something like 2 kilometer straight, something like that, or 1.5.
That's a long straight.
2 kilometer, 1.5 kilometers. Oh no!
1.5 kilometers straight.
This is the pit entry T1.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the pit exit. Look how far out you got to go around to come back out on the circuit.
Okay, that's going to be interesting.
Around the corner, or you even could have just dropped it here. But the last sector, look at the last sector of the lap. Right, you've got this section which is flat, which requires aerodynamic downforce. Now, if this was 2021, the cars would struggle to follow with each other around here.
Mm-hmm.
They would absolutely struggle like hell. Luckily, now by 2023, they would have had these new cars and the second generation these new cars, so they would be able to follow a lot closer. If you get what I mean. So, but even still, it's still making it tricky. But obviously, it doesn't matter.
But the new rules already coming in this year, right?
Yeah, they're coming in this year.
But of course, this year will be the testing year.
That's why the cars feel, but that's why the cars are better.
But of course, this year will still be the testing year for all the cars on the aerodynamics and all that. But of course, they've been complaining about the bounce on the straights. So let's see whether they can solve that. No, let's see what happens when they really race, right? Let's see what happens when they really race. Maybe it will iron out when you're falling someone at the back, and maybe the turbulence from the back will more or less stable out you at the back. But the front car will still be bouncing.
Yeah. No, I don't get too lost, but in the end, like, as long as I don't mind how the circuit looks, I don't care how it drives, just as long as you can overtake on the damn thing. Right. To be honest, then again, I do love Monaco.
Monaco.
I think that's one of.
I wish F1 raced in Macau. That would be fantastic.
You never know, it could do. Do you know
but
what?
Macau, I think the circuit is too small.
I think Monaco could quite easily. I think this season you might see more overtaking this season.
But the cars are wider this season, right?
I don't think they are. I don't think they might be a little bit, but not as wide. But still, I still seen wide cars like that and still been able to overtake. Like the MP423 was a wide car. They still managed to do a lot of overtaking in it.
Let's see how that goes, right?
We'll see how it goes. But in 2010
and the front tires are much bigger this year, if not mistaken.
Yeah, low profile 18-inch wheels. They said it's already obstructed some of the drivers' views. It's
visibility
of their view very centralized. So if they try to look left and right, they're going to be struggling a little bit. So
you only see tires.
Yeah, because you only can see tire really.
You can't see in front of you.
So there you go. It's going to be mad, and how it looks different to look on board. If I can, if I get
Let me get out the race times for Bahrain. Have you got an onboard view?
I swear I got him on board.
Okay, let me see. Calendar this year will be the first race is March 18, but they don't show the times. Okay. Oh, the first two races will be in Saudi. I mean, in the Middle East. First is Bahrain, then it'll be Saudi Street Circuit, Jeddah Street Circuit.
Then is it Australia, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're doing the Asian part first this year. They usually do that, right? You mean last time? Yeah, they usually start with Australia last time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean,
I think because of all this COVID thing, I think they pushed Australia back. But since the Australian government has opened up back the borders and all that, so I guess more or less by April there'll be a good time for the F1 contingent to go over.
Does anyone miss Australia as the first race?
I'm okay.
So, is there any news about if the Russian Grand Prix is going to be replaced with another Grand Prix? Like Turkey or Portugal?
Or Malaysia?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind the Malaysian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I actually love the Malaysian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because it could
hot and wet.
Raining. It could start raining out of nowhere.
Yeah, hot and wet.
Within 10 minutes it'd be raining.
Yeah.
It'd be pissing it down. And when I mean pissing it down, I mean
pissing it down.
No,
I live here, I know.
You take a rain shower to another level, mate. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, my dad was in Malaysia think 5 months ago, and he said it's either hot or like pissing it
Wet.
down. There's no in between.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I
There's no
can't
in
find a
between.
cockpit cam, but if I can find, I can't find the cockpit cam. Just before we go, can't find the cockpit cam,
Oh,
but I can find this cam.
oh, that's sick.
Hamilton in his new W13 Mercedes.
Are we gonna watch it?
No, we're gonna play it in bits. So if I play
No, you
too
can't-
much, it'll get copyrighted.
Yeah, I know. Don't go too far.
There you go. Look.
Yeah, but you can't get a cockpit cam, right? You're still looking from the top, so it doesn't. This one looks interesting. That's the back wheel.
Yeah.
Look at the floor.
But if you
see the
guys do
floor,
want to
look,
watch
see how
the
it's raised.
videos,
You see how it's raised? You look just in it, and it's raised a little bit. Like there's a little step on the floor, so you can tell it's free.
Is that the intermediates?
No, it's full wet.
Oh, that's a full wet. All right.
It's a full wet. Full wet. I can tell by the tire. Plus, yeah, look, blue mark, red tire.
Blue mark on the side.
Blue
Yeah.
mark tire. Yeah, but that's how they look now.
Mm-hmm.
Look cool, don't they?
The tires are bigger, a lot bigger for the front wheel.
Oh, look at that. She looks a beauty, don't she?
the Mercedes car is nice.
Oh, it does look nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If that drives as good as it looks, fuck you, Verstappen. Fuck, no, sorry, Verstappen. I'll take that back. Fuck you, Horner.
Yeah.
Mate, his comments on TalkSport. Mate, like.
Oh yeah, sorry I didn't
he
send you
knows
the
there's
link.
some bullshit. He knows
Send
there's some
the link.
bullshit.
Send the link.
He knows there's some bullshit that's been talked about.
Of
He's
course,
come
there's
with the
bullshit.
Like,
No, they had to make the last season of this old car as exciting as possible.
Massey's done nothing wrong.
Would he be saying that if it were
Nothing
Hamilton
wrong.
that won the championship in that manner? Would he be
Massey
saying?
did nothing wrong, and right, Hamilton's tires were on the verge of death. Right, okay. Why was you closing them up on him then?
Why was Hamilton
If
still
Hamilton's
11
tires were that screwed,
Why didn't Hamilton change his tires then?
If Hamilton's tires were that dead, you would have been catching him a second or two a lap. You lose to 3 seconds a lap when they go over the cliff. Why aren't you catching him 3 seconds a lap?
Has there been any? I mean, I don't know. I might be living under a rock, but have they had a new director yet? Or
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Two.
they've had 2 new race directors that will be alternating with Herbie Blash as their advisor. Herbie Blash, if you don't know who Herbie Blash is, he used to be the number 2 to Charlie Whiting. So, we actually got someone who actually knows what he's doing.
hopefully.
No, Herbie Blash knows what he's doing. Basically, whilst Charlie Whiting was doing the starting roster at the pit start at the start of the race, right, to set everyone off, right, he would be in race control, directing the first 2 laps of the race while Charlie got back to race control. Right, and if he had Toto Wolff on the radio, he'd basically go, "Yeah, well, I'm sorry, right, he's busy at the moment. He'll get back to you," and he'd never get back to him. He's busy doing the race. But he would basically say, it's basically him saying, "Yeah, piss off. We'll make our own decisions."
I'm just glad about this new rule where the team principals will get to speak to the FIA during the race.
Oh, they will still get to have a say.
What?
They will.
But they can't speak directly to the race directors anymore.
No, they can.
No, they can't. I thought they can't. They're supposed to talk to another group of people before they can talk to the race director.
No. They've said that they still will be allowed to have communication. They will
Directly?
still allow communication, but only a certain amount.
Quantify that certain amount.
Yeah, it won't be. It won't be as like badgering the referee as bad, but you'd be questioning. You can question decisions. You can question decision, but you can't badger the referee like they were doing last season, which is like sending emails, this, that, and all the other, and basically instructing them how to basically run the sport.
That's it. It was the last race and last season for that car, so I guess F1 just needed to get some excitement, right, back into the sport. So it is what it is. But of course, this season is a new season, so for all you know, guys, don't be surprised. McLaren might be
Michael
smashing everybody
Massey's
else.
exit as race director was harsh, says Christian Horner.
Well, that's what Max Verstappen said too. So
Well,
it's not harsh. I mean, they just removed him
yeah,
from
he also
that
said,
position.
I'm not focused. I'm not too worried about what happened last year. What's done's done. And excuse me, you just won your first title. Of course you'd be bothered. Bullshit. You knew there was some bullshit that went down, right?
Well,
And you knew your fucking team was involved.
yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. The team were involved.
They were
They
all
were
involved.
I've
They were
got to go.
involved.
I've got to go in a bit, Stephen. So
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah,
this. Just
yeah.
say this as well. We felt a lot of decisions went against us last year. What decisions? He even brought Jeddah up, saying Jeddah was out the penalty in Jeddah was unfair. Oh, so brake testing someone in the middle of the fucking road's unfair, is it? Are you fucking deranged? This
Oh,
is
it's over.
why he never got to F1 because he's a shit F1. He's a shit driver who doesn't know anything about racing.
Well, it's over. It's over, Stephen. Right?
am I the
Sorry,
only
what's
one
hate
that would pay to
cunts?
see it?
I'm sorry, I don't care. What's hate cunts?
I would. I
Oh.
would. I
I
would pay
can't
to see
stand it.
Stephen and Horner
Oh, it
debate.
drives my fucking nuts. Honestly, how can you sit there, someone who's brake tested deliberately, proven, fact, brake tested another driver and say that is perfectly legitimate and it's the other driver's fault?
Oh, it's okay, Stephen.
It's
What is gone is
disgusting.
gone. What's
It's
past is past.
disgusting.
Let's see what
The way he
happens the
tried to
new
shove
season.
Hamilton's
Yeah.
neck with the dirt was disgusting.
But Stephen, I have got to go too. Right, it's about 2 a.m. my time here.
Sorry, it's because he knew that he couldn't. He knew he
Oh,
couldn't
it's
beat him on.
early.
He knew he couldn't beat him on track, so he had to try and beat him off it. That's
Okay,
why.
I think.
So anyway, we're gonna wrap.
Nah,
up.
we're not gonna go there, Stephen. We're not gonna go
No,
there.
you
Right?
could. Yeah, I'll go there, mate. Don't you worry about that. I'm gonna have to go anyway because I've got to wrap up in
Yeah,
10 minutes. I've got to be
yeah.
live on at 6 p.m.
Oh
on
yeah, yeah. I'm
6
gonna
p.m.
take a nap and then I'm gonna watch the Borough Spurs FA Cup game. So, right,
Yeah, I'm
guys.
live at 6. So yeah, make
Yeah.
sure you go. Yeah, Eugene, where can I find you?
Oh, you can find me on Spurs Vision TV, right? Tomorrow I'm doing the midweek show, right? If you're free, Steven, you wanna hop on? I'll send you the link, right? And
Yeah, what
Adam,
time's that?
right? But I do it about 12 p.m. GMT.
GMT. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not pop on for that, man.
If you're free, I'll send you the link later. All right, Steven?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
All right.
So you'll catch me over there then.
All right. All right. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
We're gonna wrap up anyway. Make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe. Adam, where can I find you?
You can find me on my YouTube, FCB Adaman, on my Twitter.
Is that
Again,
one that's actually saying FCB?
yes, don't worry. This one will stay.
FCB Adam. Let's see whether I'm subscribed to you at FCB Adam.
Yes, you are. You are.
I am. Okay, I am. Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I'll do it tomorrow. I'm doing the Blaugrana podcast. Yeah, it will be around. So it will be around 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. European time, and I am not sure.
Just say UK time, and everyone will work it out from there.
8 p.m. UK time.
Everyone works it out from that, pretty much.
Yeah, we'll work it out from there.
That's the main. That's where East meets West.
All right.
Everyone goes by that point. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe on SFeatleyF1. check these guys out as well. Make sure you also subscribe the other channel I'm about to go on in 10 minutes, which is my other channel, SFeatleyTV. Can we get that to 1.2k as soon as possible, please? We're at 1.15. We could get to 1.2 by the end of the month. So please, please, let's go and do that right now. Every time you watch, you raise money for Children's Liver Disease Foundation, and you raise awareness by watching this channel as well. So make sure you're watching both channels, liking and subscribing on both channels. And yeah, we will see you later on. Until then, everyone stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon.